Hey everyone, welcome back to the North American Challenger Series. Our second game is just moments away, and while we gear up for that, here's what happened last night between Final 5 and TSM Darkness.
It got very heated last night between these two teams, but ultimately, we're going to see what happens here in just a moment. You can see the team comp from TSM Darkness is actually get to your backline wombo combo composition. Final 5, one with a little more well-rounded composition here. It's very siege-oriented, but they can fight you.
Yeah, honestly, there's a lot of bursts coming at your face if you do end up jumping in on them. And of course, the fact that you have ways of tying up the backline with Mundo, or not Mundo, sorry, but like Maokai to hold them in place. Maybe you can actually knock back the Scion. The thing is, Janna shouldn't be good in this comp because both Scion and Vi can ignore the fact that she exists while they use their ultimates. So you'd think it'd be hard to play for Final 5, but execution ended up being a really important part of all this. As we get ourselves into the game, you'll see what I mean.
All right, now let's get into the game and actually look at those highlights here. Veritas, he's been a little bit under the radar. Hasn't been featured a whole lot, but Heaventime puts his attention immediately to the bot lane in this 2-on-2.
Yeah, Indivisible getting a nice knockup from the Tornado. Heaven misses the flash Q, but it's just a lot of bursts. They get the jungler in. Honestly, the ward was so shallow that they couldn't see Lee Sin in time. They go in for the dive here, and the thing is, Quan again plays it really beautifully. Double knockup, Tornado on Indivisible, knocks him into the wall. Quan, the new support for Final 5, has been incredible for this team.
Stepping in for Rule 18 and really featuring Veritas in this last game that they played. This fight, though, gets a little drawn out. They overextended for that last kill on Final 5's side. And now Sojin, he's seconds away from his ultimate being back up, so he wants to continue this fight, seeing as Quan and Heaventime are both low.
The thing is, you're seeing a lot of like really good mechanical plays. They've actually either canceled or dodged from Scion ulti twice, but by the way, Sivir spell shielding basically everything. And Arc second here actually gets stopped on the roam, but the Xerath keeps going for the Orianna instead of helping them turn back onto Sojin. So Heaventime here, this is great. So he's gonna Q it, dodges, and then goes into the Vault Breaker.
Right into Sojin. Amazing play there, great forethought. Indivisible though, flashing over the E to get his own stun, but he's too far forward and he gets blown up by Gate, who now nobody can reach him.
Yeah, Arc second wasn't even there to land a shotgun before his jungler even died. Easy chase there, bullseye there for Xerath. Quick and easy kill.
And you could see Sojin held onto his ultimate for so long, he was not in range to get to Gate forever. And like we said, this is a wombo combo composition, but where's the wombo? It's on Final 5's side.
Yeah, Indivisible blows up during a Xerath stun. Big ol' Rana's a tank, but the turret's basically dead. You've got to turn tail and run. He pops the ulti to try to get out, but by the way, Rux is here. Nothing to do on this one. Revives, kind of. Just punches a Maokai. Lumberjack Scion actually defeated by the tree. Oh, irony.
Ironic. Sometimes the tree falls on you, though. You got to yell timber before it goes down. They go in for the engage, and they try to get on Gate, but you can see Rux there for the peel immediately.
And Quan does such a good job of actually peeling other people back. I think he's probably canceled like 6 Scion Qs this game by himself. So just the follow-up CC never quite landed. Vi was kind of only there by himself. You can see Arc second wasn't even able to cast Shockwave, nor was Indivisible able to cast Tibbers during that fight. So the follow-up just not there for Final 5, for TSD time and again.
And you can see there, 28 minutes, our fastest game yesterday, was Final 5 taking a victory over TSD. Quan, the new support, stepping in for Rule 18, synergizing almost immediately with Veritas, and had an amazing scoreline that game.
Yeah, we'd always been saying that Veritas was going to be the new hotness in the Challenger Series, a really amazing AD carry, and now you're seeing him with a top-performing support looking better and better. Teaser hasn't won a game since he played top lane on the very first game against CLG Black. Weirdly, I want to see them actually roll swap that back and just go back to the combo that's working.
I don't know if he wants to, because I talked to him and he was like, I played top lane Aurelia. I'm like, have you ever played that before? He's like, I was looking up a guide while the screen was loading.
Yeah.
So he's like, MOBA Fire, how do you build Aurelia?
You buy a Trinity Force and tank out of it. Even I can tell you that one. It's really obvious. You buy the best item in the game.
He did it, though. And he went like 10-6 or something. He had
Trinity Force.
He had 10-4 and 10. 5 KDA on that. Is really, really good.
Trinity Force. For tonight's rematch, we're going to be keeping an eye on the damage dealers. On TSM Darkness, it is Veritas. He's going up against TSD's AD carry Teaser.
Yeah, and you can see there, Veritas lower on the kill participation, but that's usually because they have a playmaker in the top lane, Rux, who's he's consistent, but he shows up to everything. I wouldn't be it wouldn't be that much of a stretch for the imagination to imagine that Rux is a big part of their team and how they operate, because he's running around the lanes. He's getting Gate going too, who I think their mid laner actually has a lot of kills to his name too. He's kind of under the radar. He likes to play like Xerath,
Like
a lot
TF
of CG
Xerath.
things. Yeah, like that's usually what he goes to.
Right.
But Teaser, on the other hand, on TSD, he's a big part of this because Big Ol' Ron is not the same type of top laner that Rux is. Right? He likes to stay in his lane. He likes to farm and shove it out.
Plays tanks, plays Scion, things like that.
Then you see Arc Second, who's like, I'm kind of supplementary damage. He does well when the team does well.
Yeah.
Right? He's the guy, he kind of reminds me of Jess's, where I'm not going to win lane, but I'm not going to lose it either. And then I'll show up, and if I've farmed up enough, I'm going to put out some big damage.
Yeah. It just seems like TSD, though, as an overall whole, because of their record as well, you can kind of see, like, their laning phase doesn't seem to be very strong. They're constantly getting behind, and I think that's part of why you're seeing these skewed kill participation graphs, is anytime your team is strong in laning and gets kills in lane, everyone's kill participation goes down because you're getting 1 or 0 assists per kill in many of these cases. So sometimes it's actually a good thing to have low KP scores.
Yes.
Is the weird thing. But Final 5, looking to challenge their way up the standings. 3-2 right now. I got to say, this lineup looks good for them. We'll see if they can keep that run going. If they win here, they are 4-2. And in a pretty good spot overall. Xerath away from Gate, Aurelia away from Big Ol' Ron, not allowing him to play playmakers.
So I actually want to talk about, you can see Sojin there on TSM Darknesses. That's actually their manager. He plays jungle, usually. He's a Vi and Sejuani player in solo queue. He's a master tier player. They had to pick him up. They do have Liquid Inori actually signed to them, but he was signed after the roster deadline for the week.
Yeah.
So he will be playing next week, so they have to use their manager this week because Azingi got pulled up to Dignitas.
Right, exactly. TSM Darkness's old jungler Azingi. Talked about him on the LCS. Had to fill the roster swap, did it. We'll see how TSD do for now. Final 5 looking definitely like one of the better teams in Challenger. Darkness, unfortunately, having a really slow start to the season. 5 games to go. And at 1-4, they got to start picking up wins really early. Xerath, Lissandra, Maokai, solo lane bans aimed at Final 5. No Callista for Teaser, no Aurelia for Big Ol' Ron. And the final ban, what will they get rid of? LeBlanc away, so Arc Second still also not allowed to be as big of a playmaker.
These are actually the exact 3 bans that TSM Darkness had against them yesterday in Final 5. So they're just keeping the same thing regardless of red or blue side.
Indivisible getting himself Morgana once again here. Played that a little while back. Actually, in their win over CLG Black is what he played. So, heck, Morgana supports 100% for TSM Darkness right now.
Yeah, Morgana was actually banned against Final 5 yesterday. So they first pick it to take it away. They don't want Rux on that champion. They don't want, they don't want to have him pick it up on Kongquan. Like, there's a lot of things here that it's just beneficial to do so. I'm actually very shocked that Nidalee has made it through the champion select. I don't think Sojin and Heaventime are really Nidalee players, though.
Well, Heaventime pulled a Nidalee ban from it last time, so maybe that is going to be picked up later on if they realize that Sojin maybe doesn't play it. Or people got confused along the way, but Rumble and Sivir tell me teamfight power is here for Final 5. Right away, Rek'Sai does go in for Sojin, so Nidalee ban clearly not required from Final 5 side. Was going to go for that anyway.
Yeah, that's it's just really strange to me. I do like Rux on this Rumble, though. Rumble Sivir is very good with the chase down. The fact that they get to engage on you and can disengage very easily. Rux's Rumble last week, and actually the weeks previous to that, weren't so much carry Rumbles as they were zoning tool Rumbles.
Yeah, like Riley, Zhonya's drop an ult, make him sit still, hope it goes well.
And I remember the interview afterwards, too. He seemed a little bummed about his own play.
Yeah.
But he played that phenomenally well. His laning phase was a little off. He got camped a bunch. But when he showed up to fights, he definitely changed the flow of it. So we're looking to see more of that from Rux here today on Rumble.
Maybe we will see more of the same Final 5. We'll see what they supplement their team fight competition with. We see a lot of Janna Sivir overall as a duo. I'm not a huge fan because their direct synergies aren't very big. They're good together in lane, but that's kind of it. Team fighting wise, they do fairly different things. But we see that combo kind of a lot as you want the team just, we can pick fights, we can pick to start them or pick to stop them, and that's going to be the combo here once again. The Zed comes through for Gate. Oddly, they don't have just Gate pick the champion. It's clearly going to him. But he actually hovered Zed, and then made Veritas pick it for him, and they grabbed Janna anyway. So I don't know if
the
I'm
mind
trolls.
games. Could be 80 carry Zed.
I mean, they mind gamed me certainly, which is kind of annoying though.
It could be mid lane Janna.
It's not. I'm pretty sure it's not. They've already picked Zed. It's not it. Heaventime is not Insect. He's not jungling Zed this game.
Oh man. One of the used to be a thing, Jungle Talon too. Could have been the new hotness. I know.
I already hate Talon enough.
But the fact that Gate's going to have that champion, that's a lot of split push pressure for them. They can pick some high priority target off in the fight, and then they can continue the fight or disengage it and then reset.
Yeah, that's definitely the strength of Janna and Saber, but there's no hard engage here, so actually getting in and locking down your opponents would be difficult so far with Final 5. So then to keep in mind, Black Shield gets you away. So Team Solo Mid Darkness with a support-heavy composition, their only damage dealer. Here is Teaser's Twitch. He's got a Morgana solo mid lane, a Nami support, and ooh, Sejuani comes in for Heaven Time. There's the lockpick. The boar is here.
I love that champion.
Yes, you do.
I'm like I'm like the 20th best Sejuani in NA, but there's only 21 Sejuani players.
Wow, you're better than someone out there.
Someone. But I love that champion, and the fact that you were talking about they don't have any hard engage. This champion, in my opinion, is a little bit better than what Jarvan was doing before, because Jarvan puts his own body at risk. Sejuani can pick the fights. You throw the ultimate out there, and you don't put yourself at risk if your team isn't following up.
Yeah.
You get to throw it out there and be like, okay, that hit 3 people, that's one we're taking. Cool. You miss it, it's like, okay, we don't have to take that fight, and it slows if you missed it, and you're just like, okay, we can back off, we're good to go. Really, really like that pickup here as a last pick for Heaven Time on that. And the fact you could just layer a Rumble ulti on top of all of it.
I think it's funny that just now we're seeing Sejuani finally played. We've been seeing Diamond player for the last couple of weeks in the European LCS, tank junglers. They've just been waiting to get played, and it looks like people are finally willing to put those champions into their lineups. But with the comps locked in, tell us who you think will win this matchup. Tweet either TSD win or F5 win to @LOL Esports, and we will check your votes in a few minutes as we get ourselves into the game. So it is 4.5, so there was like that minor nerf on the Warrior enchant. So you're like, oh, maybe that's why these tank junglers are coming out. But keep in mind, throughout the last 2 weeks, that was getting played anyway in the European LCS. Again, bringing Diamond back up here. But I do like the sort of strategic depth that it does add to Final 5. And the fact that, as you were mentioning, all of their hard engage is like pick. Like you can choose to do it or not. You mentioned kind of putting your body at risk, right? Rumble ulti from range. Sivir ulti says, oh, we can run in or out to chase that up. You don't have to be in range. You can ult to getting in range and follow up from there. So Final 5 really, really good at picking their fights right now. We'll see if that pays off.
The only thing they have to worry about is just Dark Bindings and Teaser showing up on top of them. Teaser's been playing a little bit of Callista the last couple of weeks. He did have some struggle against a team where he couldn't take out the Dr. Mundo, couldn't kill TDK Seraph. This time, though, he's on a much more high damage crit champion in the mid game for team fights.
Well, we'll see. Minor tank line for Final 5. A jungler is going to be less tanky than a top laner. Rumble, we'll see if Rux goes for the tank build here. Meanwhile, TSM Darkness have a really, really beefy front line and a way to keep Twitch alive, so maybe Twitch can hard carry their fights against a fairly squishy Final 5 lineup. But it's really on Teaser versus the overall team fight prowess of Final 5.
Getting to Teaser, though, is going to be a problem. They'll be able to use the Zed ultimate on him and hopefully blow him up from Final 5 side, but they do have a Black Shield, they have a lot of heals, they have a lot of peel for him on top of it. So getting to Teaser is going to be the challenge here from Final 5. And just so you guys know, Sejuani, one of the reasons that people are actually playing her more and more is that they've discovered that normally you want to go 9-21-0 on tank junglers. You can actually go 21-9 on her. 21-9-0.
Yeah.
With the offensive. You get the magic and the
armor pen, mastery.
And you make it so that you just kill the camps. You have a good clear time because her W is also enhanced by bonus HP.
Yeah.
So when you buy the Juggernaut, you're actually giving Sejuani more damage on her W. And then when you get cooldown reduction, any type, you go to Aegis, you go Frozen Heart, anything, you make it so that your W basically has 100% uptime. You are constantly outputting the damage. She was buffed a while ago, so the cooldown on her Permafrost is much lower. Yeah. The duration is lower, but
you get to hit that a lot more.
You get to hit it a lot off. Exactly, which increases the damage output overall.
All right, so interestingly, Hybrid Pen marks also for Heaven Time, so actually caring a lot about his spell damage. 10 CDR from Runes and Masteries coming into the game. So we saw that Sion got himself a solo Raptor camp. Rek'Sai just finished soloing her own red buff, but overall the clear speed a little bit better on Sejuani right now. But of course, Sion showing up to lane with a half-level advantage, going to be pretty nice for Big ol' Ron. Heaven time, ooh.
This is actually very tricky because he started the enemy blue, and then he went straight to his red. When Raptor's red, if he wraps around to his own after this, and he wastes Rek'Sai's time.
He already burns Smite. It's actually pretty close to him dying. I don't know if he can stay.
Nope.
Oh, God. Heaven time. He used Smite to heal himself, but he couldn't quite get enough damage down to clear off that camp. So Heaven time, while he still might get 3 buffs, it's going to happen and somewhat slowly.
The difficulty here is that isn't something you usually practice in a scrim or anything, because you usually start Krugs or you start Gromp. You start something that's going to enhance your damage to jungle camps. So going straight from blue to Raptors to red, you don't have the extra damage from a Gromp. You don't have the extra stun from a Krug. So you don't have as good of a grasp on it if you haven't done it very often.
Yeah.
And specifically with this champion, because jungle clears have tiny nuances between them.
Okay, so...
Oh, he sees him though. Sojin knows that Heaven Time's over the wall. The Heaven Time doesn't
I don't
see this.
think... He should put his own trinket down. Yeah, Sojin's going to actually just run straight away from this one. Doesn't want to get caught up in the jungle at the time. Without Smite, but he knows he's safe, I think. He'll be able to secure his own red buff. I think he's... Is he waiting for Smite to come up? Nah, he doesn't care. He's going to Smite this anyway, but...
Smite it for the HP.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the Krug buff. There's a possibility that Sojin is still waiting around because he doesn't have ward control of the side.
So well played
Good
here,
check by him,
Veritas. Good spell. Shield gets away from the bubble by taking a whole bunch of really annoying poke and burst from this Twitch.
Twitch actually put 2 points into his Contaminate.
Yeah, I think it's normal. You don't really learn Q for a while.
Yeah, there's no reason to have it in the lane for the most part.
No. Unless you have a really, really bully lane matchup, you can actually sneak in and try to start a fight, but not going to be the case here.
Jungler's going to clash again. Sojin is going to be invaded on by Heaven Time, but Heaven Time actually, he's going for the full clear.
Wow, so Sojin actually is going to be able to sneak this blue buff. He's got Smite. There it is, gets it. Will he stay for the second one? No, he doesn't. Needs a little token, a little memento for Heaven Time.
Left his calling card.
Oh man, he's even going to recall. Heaven Time was never even going to check that thing. Final 5.
Best skin.
Bear Cavalry?
Yeah.
You don't use it.
I know. Just because the backing has the dance on it. That's the reason. I actually use the Dark
Rider.
Dark Rider because nobody uses that skin. It's got skulls on the side. I saw it and I was like, what? There's a Sejuani skin that looks like this?
That is the most hipster thing I've ever heard.
Well, nobody used it, so I had never seen it before, and I was like, oh my god, it's like a whole new champion.
Nobody uses it. It has skulls on the side.
Oh,
You're the most emo goth kid I know.
I gotta go shop at Hot Topic after this. I'm done.
Sounds about right.
Heaven Time now realizing that his blue is gone. He might be an emo kid after that.
I mean, at least he got the enemy blue buff. Can't say it's completely miserable. TSM Darkness, though, we're trying to sneak this one. They forced the recall of Veritas and Conquan. So the dual lane is not here, but Heaven Time says, hey, yeah, screw you guys. It's my dragon. And out they go. Good read by Heaven Time.
Yeah. TSD actually are 1,000 gold up off of the bottom lane. Teaser is doing work on Veritas in terms of CS.
Wow, he is absolutely destroying that poor Sivir. Gotta say, well played. The thing is, Nami's so good against Janna in general, though. Like, your general trading power is just...
Oh, yeah.
It's going to far exceed, and the fact that you have sustain as well is really powerful. So Final 5, limping through a very weak lane matchup. 500 gold deficit on the 80 carries. A quick wave clear. Maybe I think they want to buy an item here. Well, I guess no. They forced a pretty bad recall, so it's going to be a fair bit of gold denied away from this Twitch.
Sojin just throwing out the Prey Seeker. Stop it back. He gives away information, though, that he's there. That frees up Heaven Time to make any move that he wants to. He's going to go clear this pink ward out. But Sojin, I want to keep eyes on him for most of this game. Because he is the sub right now, the manager of the team, and I want to see how he synergizes with the rest of TSD. They have a lead off of this laning phase so far, but the fact he showed bottom means that Heaven Time gets to make this move top, no problem.
Rux is 6, Heaven Time gets in the front. He's trying to stop the Big ol' Ron ulti, and in fact, he's doing so quite conveniently. Big ol' Ron very close to dead, but he gets the ulti up.
Oh!
Flash by Heaven Time makes Big ol' Ron flash away as well. They trade summoner spells, but they still got the lane lead.
Yep, but that means the fact that they
can try again.
saw him chop, they get to go to this dragon.
Well, good job capitalizing on the bottom lane lead. They weren't able to push the turret down. It's pretty hard with Twitch Nami, so instead they use that lead to push down on the dragon. And it means 5 attack damage comes in for Twitch, and Rux just took a whole lot of damage just now.
Yep, and there's still enough mana for Big Ol' Ron to continue throwing that harass out. He has a lot of potions too, so Rux is going to be the first one to use his potion. Big Ol' Ron's going to clear this wave and then back and possibly not use his own teleport and just get that type of advantage for himself.
Good bubble. The W gets spell shielded, but Conquan is still slow for this. Plus the Nami. This could almost be first blood, but they do not want to chase him with the exhaust.
Right now, Final 5 in that bottom lane are playing far back. You usually don't see a Sivir get out CS'd just because of the fact that she can clear so quickly.
Right now that's been the case. I want to point something out, by the way. That's an Amp Tome on Heaven Time. He's going Magus Sejuani. I'd be willing to bet.
Okay.
Oh, wow, Sojin. Challenger players really getting scared by jungle camps today.
The jungle is hard, and people talk about how hard it is all the time. It's really hard. The fact that he doesn't have Trailblazer either, he's going Stalkers, doesn't make it any easier.
Gotta be really good at fighting enemy champions, though, all the same. Maybe we'll see some Rek'Sai ganks come out, but Sojin only level 4, 9 minutes in is actually a pretty slow pace right there. He's actually out-leveled by the supports. It's like the early jungle gambits have really slowed him down a fair bit. Rux in a battle with Big Ol' Ron. Ron, though, winning this one. This is the Q. But he's up like 14 CS in this lane, though. So I gotta say, the Scion work has been pretty powerful so far. Rushed haunting guys from Ruck, but thing is, he's not going to be in a fight for Dragon anytime soon, as it's dead here, so. And it's not like he's harassing up Big Ol' Ron anyway.
Big Ol' Ron got a bit of a lead, though, because of the fact that he was able to do an extra camp at the start as Scion. It gives you a ton of potions. It's really hard to get him out of lane. They put a lot of pressure, but speaking of pressure, immediately here's the ulti.
Ulti forward, but it hits absolutely nothing. A beautiful bubble hits 2, and it's first blood on the counter gank from Sojin. TP comes in from Ron. He's going to ult right in, and he finds Sejuani under the turret. He gets a slow on a Veritas. The flash from Sivir, but it's not going to be enough to survive. Big Ol' Ron gets a heal, walks away from the turret. That is a 3-0 for TSM Darkness.
Conquan still has his flash, his exhaust, and his ultimate now. Was not able to disengage that fight and help his team out. That ultimate from Heaven Time, though. Oh, man. That's the thing with Sejuani, too, is that ultimate was 3 inches away, 3 Teemos away from being the best ultimate. Whoop. Boom.
Hut.
Almost hit both Teaser and Indivisible.
Oh, wow. Rek'Sai knock-up into bubble. There was no chance for Conquan to do anything. They had to face check the brush. They thought they got stunned.
Yep.
Thing is, they were in the brush when that ulti hit, and just a really nice stun by Big Ol' Ron. The Veritas flash, honestly, a bit excessive. It didn't do anything for him, so a loss of a summoner spell there.
It's one of those situations where as soon as you see the Sejuani ultimate miss, but you have to disengage and just call off the fight, but they got locked up immediately. Yep. Wasn't stunned, bubble, knock up, boom. Combination onto Conquan, no way to disengage it.
All right, so TSM Darkness now really using Sojin's lead 1-0-2 Warrior Enchant to push right into the jungle. Indivisible actually up in the top side with him. Really interesting lane mechanics, or lane dynamics, I should say, by TSD, controlling North Jungle real hard, even though Dragon's up in 2 minutes.
With a Twitch and a Nami, you really kind of want to get the Nami roaming around the map, and then the Twitch just clears waves and leaves, and then shows up wherever with his Q.
You know what's cool, actually?
That way.
Well, actually, what I like about this is you actually really want a one-on-one in the bottom lane. Because Teaser will immediately kill Veritas in any one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
He can zone him out in perpetuity. And so by Nami roaming, you force Janna to counteract that. No one's here to stop Teaser.
Yep. And Veritas can't, like you said. Avarice Blade, Vamp Scepter.
Yeah. Mid lane, though, much less aggressive. Morgana, no kill pressure. They're going to actually swap their lanes just because the AD carry needs it. They send Zed to the bottom lane. They send Sivir to a short lane where it's really hard for Twitch to get those flank kills.
He can still do it, though.
I mean, sure, he can try, but it's just harder is all I'm saying. for mid for TSM Darkness. Sivir with no real attack damage to appreciate here. Not the best wave clearer. And they can easily pressure this turret down. Gate is alone at the bottom lane. Heaven Time forced to move over to help. There's Janna, but he shields Veritas, meaning no damage blocked on this turret. The bubble's going to land, further lowering his damage output, and mid's down to half.
TSD got a really good fight, and now Final 5 are forced to play defensive across the board. Big ol' Ron got 2 assists and was winning this lane already off of the extra potions and sustain trading with Rux. So this lane in top is definitely going TSD's favor. Sojin has been trying to make moves around the map. He eventually got some.
Ooh. Really smart by Teaser.
Yep.
Blade of the Ruin King, Zed would have been enough to make Teaser force flash.
Oh, he's going in
right here. But Nami's there with the exhaust. Ignite's not going to be much. The bubble does catch in, and Teaser getting a lot of damage on the gate. A great tidal wave catches him. Is the poison going to be enough? Oh no! A shield comes in time from Janna.
Big ol' Ron barreling down. Caught himself a crab.
Fisherman Scion.
I guess a fisherman.
He's almost dressed the part.
I know. I was like, fisherman could also wear flannel.
Yeah.
And overalls. I mean, anybody could if they wanted to. That could be hipster Scion too. He's not necessarily a lumberjack.
Today's North American Challenger Series brought to you by the word hipster.
Very stylish Scion.
He's got horn rim glasses with no lenses.
I don't know why he's got an axe though.
Because they're awesome.
His swords are so mainstream, man.
Yes.
It's time to carry an axe. Who else carries an axe?
Actually, why didn't the hipster fisherman catch any fish?
Why?
They were too mainstream.
Oh, did you just come up with that?
Yeah, I did. Mid lane turret goes down. TSM Darkness 3-0 in kills, 3-0 in turrets, 2-0 in dragons. This is not the TSD we've seen all season, but these guys are crushing it right now.
I mean, sometimes when you have your manager in the game, your job's on the line. No.
This gank better work or you're fired. It's working for Sojin.
Teaser has actually stepped up a bunch. We talked about how the only games that they had won were ones with him playing top lane Aurelia. Big ol' Ron won his lane. Now, Rux is slowly clawing his way back into it, has his Leandries. Teaser, though, outright just won his lane over Veritas, the #1 solo queue player for weeks.
Yeah.
#1 in Challenger and solo queue, and has been for a very long time. I think since the beginning. He was the first one, too.
Yeah. He's just been destroying people left, right, and center. And Veritas with Conquan as a support, I thought, man, he's going to get even better right here. Conquan top 60 in solo queue as well, and just an overall impressive player. But this is one of the biggest weaknesses we've seen this bot lane have right now. Great counterpicking by TSM Darkness.
Man.
The question is, can they snowball this lead further? 4,000 gold lead early on. There's no outer turrets left to kill. Teaser wanting to challenge Gate, but that's pretty brave. Without QSS, he actually can't challenge that. Even with, I just feel like the level deficit's too much to ever win that fight. Sojin spots the moves. They know Janna and Zed both backed up towards Tri-Brush. And the blue trinket actually would have spotted the pink ward in that brush as well. Safe blue buff for Gate. He's going to go back bottom lane.
It's a very interesting build before Heaven Time. You talked about how he's getting the Magus enchant. I want to see what else he goes for here. If he goes for something like spell penetration, haunting guys, because that gives him AP, penetration, and HP. Like that's usually the tank slash magic damage Sejuani that you'll see. Because she has decent base damages.
Yeah.
But, oh, double stun!
Oh, the Q could land quickly as well. Get the knock up onto Sojin, and Rek'Sai about to die. Great Rumble Team's Gate is here as well. Pop shield onto Teaser, gets exhausted and knocked up, forced to run away right away. And the fight resumes. The Big ol' Ron gets knocked back by Conquan, separates the team, and Scion will be the first casualty after all. They disengage right away from the zombie. And it gives control of Dragon over to TSD.
There's
can Final 5 re-engage.
Sojin goes over the wall. This is very bold. They're going to go rush mid lane now from Final 5's side while they're all trailing off and shoving the bottom lane.
Well, good disengage and good return kill. Final 5 looking pretty good on this one. Of course, Dragon's off the map, so that spark, that part of it are actually not very important right now.
Top lane.
Yeah, big wave. Gate goes right away. Good sort of just awareness by Final Five in this mid game to allocate the resources well. No one's still topside, so it's going to be a lot of gold lost to the turret. In fact, the turret's going to go down most likely.
Rux.
Whoa.
Oh.
Teaser.
Jumped on by Teaser, the Fed Twitch in this game, blowing the Blade of the Ruined King.
Careful, I've seen this fight before. AD carry versus Janna.
I don't know. He has to back off.
Like that. Okay.
Chunk down to half already.
Brutalize will do that. Makes you real good at killing squishies.
Teaser's about to hit his mid-game item spikes here very shortly, I believe, off of that back. Rux was just wanting to clear some waves.
He was silenced too, so there's like nothing he could have done about this. Teaser actually lets him get into the brush and nearly loses the fight because of it. I guess it wasn't nearly. He had like 800 health left, but still.
Yeah. But the fact that he waits around until he silences himself, knows he's trying to clear the wave, jumps Rux, doesn't even let him get the CS.
Rux should have fought him right there. Like, you're overheated. You will not get anything by running away. Like, go punch that guy in the face, make him kite you, and actually Rux would have fought that battle a little bit better. TSD, Arc second has been actually very low impact this game, just clearing mid over and over and over again. Roa into, I'm guessing, Zhonya's here as his build. And he's going to hope that he can just black shield the teammate and survive any burst that comes towards him.
Huh. Rod of Ages is good for Morgana for getting into the fight
build.
And being durable, but not having a cooldown reduction or mana regen item.
Yeah, like Season 2, mid Morgana was pretty common in solo queue. And so there was a couple different builds. There was Death Cap into Zhonya's, which is just like high damage, I'm going to kill you if I land a Q build. And then Roa became pretty common into Zhonya, so that like you had some durability, so you didn't have to Zhonya's every single fight. And then when it came back in 2015, it was like everyone was playing Lissandra already, and it was like, oh yeah, you do max CDR mages, of course you do, because I want my cooldowns all the way up. But having actual burst threat of Morg, like her ratios are really high. Just getting one rotation off and blowing someone up is not a bad use of Morgana.
No, it's not at all. The thing there is just the cooldown reduction. He's not going for the picks. He's just going for, if I hit binding, you're going to get chunked very hard.
3-man ulti, in comes the Rumble, and everyone on TSD incredibly low, but they fire back right away. Heaven Time dies, and no one falls. Big ol' Ron re-engages, finds a knockup. Rux will die for this one. A double kill for the Twitch. Teaser is 5-0-1. Gate forced a flash, slowed by Big ol' Ron. The Q is going to land the knockup. No, Deathmark comes back in. Exhaust is on. Big damage from Veritas. 2 kills traded back. Once again, Final Five finds something good out of these fights.
Just barely. It's a 2 for 2. The triple ultimate from Heaven Time. Heaven Time's doing work with his ultis. Except for that first one.
Yeah.
But it's really confusing because usually when you play a Sejuani, you're going for a wombo combo comp. Where when you land that type of ultimate, the fight is over before they even get out of the stun. Now it's like we land it, and then Zed gets to throw some shurikens, you get to throw a boomerang blade, and Rux gets to place his ultimate a little.
Yeah.
But that's about all you're getting out of these ultimates. And then they just continue the fight. TSD are already ahead, so they continue to pick it. But it's not so much about that right now. It's about this dragon.
And the dragon's going to go down, so number 1 goes to Final Five. And you talked about how the fight's supposed to be over, but I want you to kind of consider the champions here. So Zed, obviously not a wombo combo champion, but also the disengaged power of TSD. Watch what Indivisible does here. He's away, and then this tidal wave is great.
Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like, that's what I like about Nami, is she doesn't have to be inside the team to disengage. By the way, that's Twitch. Yeah. Pretty powerful. Yeah. He's ahead a little bit.
Just a little bit. Heaven Time does have the ultimate, decides not to go for it. 2 spread out for that. Teaser is now becoming a force that you need to respect at all times. 100% kill participation. We saw his kill participation earlier, 70%. But very, very high.
Heaven Time. Gotta be careful. Binding will not land. But the jungle is completely controlled by TSM Darkness. These guys up about 3,000 gold here in the game.
This is very interesting because if you look at the builds from TSD, their jungler is going straight for the Aegis of the Legion. Big ol' Ron rushes a Banshee's Veil. These guys are trying to shut down the AP threats of Rux and a little bit of Heaven Time too. Heaven Time's building AP. He does go for the Haunting guys for the mixture of stats that Sejuani wants, the penetration, the AP, and the HP. But they don't have anything to deal with Gate. They're just manually peeling him. And it's been working.
Yeah, it's true.
TSD.
So far, so good. The team fighting of TSM Darkness.
Ooh, Veritas.
Quite nice.
Veritas went for the Bloodthirster first.
He just feels so afraid. BT Shiv will make him more survivable in a fight in general. It is a bit cheaper than Infinity Edge by like a couple hundred gold, so it's really just burst based using Q and W. Stun, dodged by Teaser, but he gets slowed anyway. There's the knockup, there's the burst, he gets one back beforehand. Trades 1 for 1 and the fight resumes. A nice slow onto Rux. Veritas has to flash the wall. TSD though gonna pick up their second fight of this one. Zed goes into Indivisible. Deathmark is not lethal because of the heal. Bouncing back to Nami and a double kill for Arcsec and makes it 3-1.
Once again, Conquan not able to use his Monsoon this fight. Heaven Time tries to ulti Teaser, one person, and it doesn't hit. These Sejuani ultis are literally hit or miss.
And it's usually been miss here in this case, so TSM Darkness now ready to push top lane tier 2. They're just taking the fights happily and winning afterwards, partially with their gold lead, partially with the fact that you can kill Twitch, but he's going to take one down with you before it happens.
Didn't even have to use his Blade of the Ruined King, and now he's got his Youmu's on top of it. And a QSS. So even if you do stun Teaser, he's going to get out of it immediately and continue to pump out damage. Reaching this switch is going to be very difficult.
I really like the quick QSS adaptation. That's one cool thing about AD carries that are ahead is normally need to keep up in item pacing to like make sure you can break down tanks and frontliners. But not only does Final 5 not have any tanks, but he's so far ahead in gold, that detour for QSS still puts him ahead of item break points, ahead of Veritas in item break points. So I'm very looking forward to Teaser's continued domination on Twitch right here. TSM Dark is looking for their second win of the split, their chance to playoffs. Maybe still alive with wins like this.
Yeah, they desperately need to pick up wins here, especially against teams that are near the bottom, or Final 5 right now are actually 3-2. So they're making a statement for themselves that they belong higher up. And with team fights like that, they might be.
And they just force everyone out, and Final 5 just continually kind of willing to fight even when their ultis miss. They got only a slow on Twitch. They're like, let's battle anyway. We're only behind in gold. 1v1 quick QSS Teaser just gets exploded by Gate anyway. Didn't even use Ruin King.
Yeah, didn't have to. Immediately blows him up. Got the QSS, got the Ruin King. No Youmu's from Teaser though. But it didn't matter. And now Gate gets to become this split pushing threat that nobody can really deal with. He'll blow up Teaser. Arcsec can outplay it a little bit if he throws the binding out right as the ultimate's coming through, but he doesn't have the damage to really kill the Zed.
Well, I think as long as you can just binding, which by the way you can, as long as you're smart about this, you can do it with Ahri with Charm, you can do it with Morgana with Dark Binding. Just binding the Deathmark, zonies if you have to, but just binding Puddle R will do 90% of Gate's health.
It says they will show up behind you, but they show up on the opposite side that they engaged on you from.
Okay.
Doesn't matter where your orientation is, if I'm facing forward or backward. It's wherever Zed is facing me from, he goes to the complete other side of me from where he casts the ultimate.
All right, so just make the quick 180, press Q, learn the timing. Morgana and Ahri players, destroy Zed that way. See if they can do it, see if Arcsec can do it. But I think he is the guy for the matchup, by the way, because it clearly is not Twitch here. So an answer for Gate, and then they've kind of shown that Teaser can win the fights by himself, so keep the Nami and the Rek'Sai around, and life might be good. See if TSM can keep that pressure up. The game, by the way, back to within 1,400, despite this gigantically, ridiculously fed Twitch, who has been putting the game on his back and destroying teamfights outright. Final 5 within 1,300 can easily make a comeback with one good fight.
Yeah, you just need a good Sejuani ultimate on key members, and then Teaser, if he blows his QSS early, he won't have it for Gate.
True. Maybe Black Chill can come in early enough if he's not around. And that's how it plays. There theoretically is enough counterplay by TSM Darkness that they could win. Looks for the pick.
Nope. Backs away. Teaser decides not to go for it. Even though Rux is back, they had no information regarding that.
The thing is, we talked about Final 5's engages and how the Sejuani ults are hit and miss. TSM Darkness don't really have any good engage tools, period. They have hopeful bindings on a no CDR Morgana. They have hopeful Scion ults, which are really low percentage.
Teaser has a red buff.
They can maybe use Teaser, but then Heaven Time presses Q and runs away. And the rest of the team, by the way, can run back toward Conquan. This is 4.5, where you actually run even faster than before, running towards a Janna. Bubble's going to land. There's no follow-up. There's just no long-range engage tools here, or follow-up tools, I should say, by TSM Darkness.
The bubble was there, but I believe Arc Second had just thrown out the binding, so it was on cooldown. No way to continue that. Dragon is live. Gate gets the blue buff, and they see it. So TSD kind of stalking around this area.
Getting a little bit of poke down. Rux off to the side. Bubble gets used. Heaven Time's nearby as well. TSD now forced in the bottom side of the river. They go back up towards the front line. As Final Five forced to get away from this one. And you can see once again, oh no, that binding hit. Heaven Time's got to be afraid. Ends the flash ulti. Heaven Time drops. Soju gets the kill credit. The Zonia's pops a stun onto Rux. The tidal wave will not land, but Gate is now into the back line. Looks for Indivisible. He's got to be pretty afraid. The pops ult on the Teaser, who jumps over the wall. Can't get the kill. Teaser with the outplay. The Mikhail's heal there as well. 2-4-0 TSM Darkness.
Final Five, in order to get into these fights, they need Heaven Time to land an ultimate on multiple people, and he gets caught looking for a position, and it's just an absolute massacre after.
Dragon number 3 picked up. TSM Darkness, we said, you know, they have some troubles getting into fights. Well, now they move a whole bunch faster. Maybe it's going to be even easier for them to bully a lead. And with the resulting 5 versus, well, now 4, they have Cyan push out top, but the other 4 push in the bottom lane with no real defense in sight. Veritas can only do so much. He's wave clearing pretty well. And it looks like it actually will be TSD giving him the room to clear the wave away.
I watched that over again. The black shield came out point blank from Arc Second, and he absorbed the Sejuani ultimate. You're going to see it here. Goes up, Sej's ultimate goes on cooldown right now. Oh, there it goes. It goes through. It hits Indivisible, and then Teaser cleanses it. So Arc Second actually just goes right past it. Doesn't care.
Big ol' Ron just actually tanked the backline. You can see the rest of Final Five had to go back around because of them being separated. So there was no contribution by Severjana.
Yeah. Actually, that's why I don't use this skin. Because
the stun looks different.
The stun is hard to read.
Yeah. Big ice block's really easy to see.
And also it sounds more satisfying too when it hits with the ice, because it just goes and you know you've hit people. Whereas this one's kind of like, and you're like, okay, I don't know if I actually.
Can you make that sound effect again? That is not what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like when you have your W charged.
Oh yeah, the high pitched whine of like the mace being charged.
But like, the ultimate hitting is just some chains wrapping around them, and it's not as visible. Like, it's hard to tell who you've locked up and how many exactly.
Hey, maybe that's important information you don't want your enemies to have, bro.
But I want it.
All right. Well, mid lane turret being attacked by TSM Darkness. Final Five want back in. Heaven Time, what can he land with this one? Good equalize, but will it be enough? The turret still stands. It is contributing damage, but Twitch on the backside knocks the turret down. Sojin in the back line versus Gate, and Teaser's gotta take so much damage. Deathmark will kill. Gate gets out just barely. It's a 1-for-0. Is there enough cleanup? Veritas slowed by Big Ol' Ron, gets the crit, gets the kill. 2-0 Final Five. What can they take on a counterattack?
Veritas was ignored that fight. They live with all 5 members still up on Final Five side. They can shove this mid lane down, but Gate immediately going towards his bottom wave where he has a wave pushing up.
All right, let's see if he can get much down here. He can at least get the wave. No one heading yet to the bottom side. It might just be Rek'Sai, but this wave will certainly crash on the turret. A little bit of golden XP denied, but Final Five, no major objectives gained. Rux even loses the turret to just the mini wave that was already pushing. You can see the lead by TS Darkness is so high that at the end of a fight, Final Five don't even get anything meaningful.
It's the side wave management and the fact that they have 3 members still up. Heaven Time jumps in. He actually gets his ultimate onto Teaser. The black shield is off. Gets it, uses the QSS there. So Teaser doesn't have his ultimate, or sorry, his QSS available for the ultimate of Gate, who flanks from the side and immediately blows up Teaser. Very sustained fight. While all that was going on, and Sojin's like, I have to peel Gate, make sure he can't get to it, Veritas has been pumping out damage this entire time.
Yeah.
The low damage Sivir is now online.
And she is 3 items completed, and Infinity Edge is next up. I'm surprised to not see Zerker Greaves, though. Pickaxe, I think, actually inferior to Zerker Greaves because getting the movement speed for target choices a bit more important, but whatever. We'll see what that means. Infinity Edge is the next item now for Teaser as well, who's considerably slowed down in this game, actually. 8-3-4, now a CS deficit, even though he was supposed to be winning that bot lane by a massive, massive margin. And so minions are actually what are putting Final Five kind of equal in this game.
They're actually only 400 gold apart in the 80 carries. So we're going to see it right here.
Well, unfair fight, by the way. 4 people show up and knock down Teaser. TSM Dark is slipping now in the mid to late game, final 5, with the room to maneuver.
Teaser trying to put the team on his back, but it's breaking his back at the same time. Now Gate has been pushing this bottom wave the entire time. They're going to give up the tier 2 and the gold lead to final 5.
Wow, bot lane tier 2 going to fall. 100 gold apart.
It's going to take back and forth. Boom, gold lead.
Man, final 5 of their first lead of the game, I suppose. Giant Wave topside, engaged by Arcsecond, still has a stun, and out goes Heaven Time. He will survive this one. Ignite will not take out the bear. Gate should be away safely as well, so final 5 really clawing back in here.
Yeah, they have the split push threat of Gate, who's now level 16, has his rank 3 ultimate, so nobody can deal with him at this point. Even Big Ol' Ron is going to get shredded out by the Last Whisper.
Well, yeah, he's got only assists here, 0-4 and 5, not the most menacing score. And honestly, fairly low minions as well for a 33-minute game. He's only got 2 completed items. And it's kind of a rough road ahead for Sion here. I think it's still only Morgana who will have a good time against Gate Zed in this game.
TSD been kind of falling apart now. Sojin's been doing a good job, 2-0 and 7 still. But the fact that they didn't push their leader, weren't able to when they were catching Heaven Time out of position. It's just the over-aggressive individual plays that they're trying to make.
Yeah. TSD just feeling, I guess, a little bit desperate. And an 800 gold lead for Final 5 as everyone recalls, gets their full resource bars. We're going to see the next team fight over Dragon in 25 seconds.
And here's the thing, too, is Final 5 have so many options. If you wait out the Black Shield and Arcsecond is using it preemptively, throw the ultimate from Sejuani onto Teaser, then he QSS's it, then you get Gate in with his ultimate. That's exactly what they did. And TSD, just look at this lineup. Who's going to do damage when Teaser's dead? It's a very low damage comp. It's very Twitch-centric.
It is. It's Twitch. I mean, you've got 2 supports for a reason. Because you expect Teaser to do well, and he did. It's just a matter of team fighting properly.
But here's the thing, is when Teaser starts playing like very far up,
and
giving up this lead that he had, he allows them back in the game. And then if your AD carry is worth the same as their AD carry, then it's an absolutely terrible position for TSD. Because they need their AD carry to be able to pull off crazy moves like he was before. He threw away his lead.
Well, keep in mind, it is a team with Twitch. One good team fight, one good spray and pray, and you knock out the entire enemy team. It's something to watch for, absolutely. Big Ol' Ron here in the front line. Dragon is the attempted target here.
It's really on Heaven Time's ultimate. Where does he place it?
Puts it right onto Indivisible, and Teaser gets a slow. Great tidal wave, and here comes the spray and pray. Turret number 2, Dragon 2 goes to final 5. Tears in the back line. Pops QSS, he stays alive. They fire back. Janna is going to go down. Final 5 lose 1 member. They trade back TSD's mid laner. 4 versus 4. Rux goes down. 4v3 for TSM Darkness. The slow onto Sivir. Final 5, though, still wanting to chase Gate. I believe might have to recall. He's got so little health left. That man's going to run mid, actually.
Oh, man. Conquan still has his ultimate, too. There's a lot of times I've been able to say that this game.
That's true.
I don't know if it's just
exploded over and over.
I don't know if it's just coming up right when he dies, but I'm pretty sure he's just holding on to his ultimate and he's getting blown up in these fights.
Yeah, it just looked very unfortunate for that Janna player. Unfortunately, 0-3-8 is not the worst scoreline, but the quality of the play, you're seeing good things and bad things kind of on repeat.
Yeah. Heaven Time almost gets a double Sejuani stun. It ends up being a slow, and then Gate jumps in. He actually uses the Death Mark onto Indivisible and not Teaser. They were right on top of each other, and it's a misclick.
Ouch. QSS used all the same, but it just didn't seem to matter too much. A couple kills traded back. Yeah, he actually got, you're talking about Janna. Arcsecond just chased him down.
Yep.
He got the ulti, Janna flashed, still got chased with Black Shield on. The ulti didn't do anything. Could have popped it for healing, I suppose. It might have been worth it, but overall, it was Conquan dying.
Yep. It's just he's not able to disengage these fights, and they don't have magic damage enough to break the shield when he puts it up.
They really don't.
And he's not the main focus either. They're all on Teaser, trying to get to Teaser.
Yep. Well, we'll see what can happen now for the rest of this fight. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Arcsecond isn't just always black shielding Teaser and just popping Zhonya's as zone control. Like, they're really not just playing around Twitch. Arcsecond's kind of making his own plays in team fights. I'm not sure that's the ideal way to play it, but that is the way they're doing it right now. TSM Darkness taking down Baron Nashor, 7,000 health, and they've got ward control. Final 5, not really looking forward to this at all. It's going to be a completely clean Baron take. Sojin smites early, doesn't matter. Final 5 only now aware of this. And in comes Big Ol' Ron. He wants this fight. Can't quite land it. No, he actually gets a slow. Gets another slow. No follow-up.
Very, very clean Baron there. Under the nose of Final 5. And now TSD, they gave themselves a slight gold lead off of that. It's worth about 5 kills.
And gonna put themselves back up 400 here. They might need to buy sometime soon. Infinity Edge done actually on teaser means that they fight sooner rather than later. They're gonna have that spike over Veritas. Definitely worth keeping in mind. That is a very, very important power spike. Arc second, I believe he stole the big Wraith. What a jerk.
Yep. Heaventime now going completely tanky, trying to shut down the damage that Teaser is going to deal instead of going for the magic damage. He just wanted to be able to do some damage in this. And now they have to wave clear this, but they don't have a lot of wave clear. Gate is actually over on the side. This is really Sivir's job at this point.
Yeah, Sivir does an okay job. The melee is the hard ones to kill. They take reduced damage from champions, so it takes some time.
It's like
but
80%.
Yeah, TSD have no siege. Twitch has no escape tools. He could rely on Black Shield, but he's got no flash, meaning at some point you're still going to get caught. Gage could do something interesting here. This is actually a nice back.
He's waiting for Teaser. He's waiting for Teaser.
Teaser's there. He's got QSS, though. The turret goes down. Okay. Oh, he goes for the flash gun, gets it on a Teaser. He popped QSS. This is dead, doing a whole bunch of damage, and a shutdown goes into Rek'Sai. What else can happen? 2 dead here. Final 5 in a 5 versus 2 now. In comes Heaventime for a big ol' Ron. The Scion ulti is down, and the Sejuani Q is up again soon. Nice slow by Ron. Conquan, though, in range to land the Zephyr. There comes Zed. It's going to be big ol' Ron dying for this one. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And Scion is dead. Final 5 in a 5 versus 1 for 22 seconds. They've got a wave in the bottom lane. This could be an inhibitor.
They're just going to shove all the way up. They'll be able to get this inhibitor. You saw them tanking it a little bit earlier, even without minions. They can just walk up to this, get the inhibitor turret very quickly, and then get that inhibitor too. Heaventime just doesn't even care. They just want to get it, even with the backdoor bonuses.
All right, here's the push on in. Heaventime tanky enough. There's the wave. Baron buff not seeming to matter. Now Twitch has respawned. Rek'Sai's up too. Final 5 does have to run away from this one, but they should be able to pretty cleanly.
The fact that it is the QSS onto the Sejuani ultimate, and then the ultimate from Zed immediately. Zed was in that bush. It's one of those situations where, like, how did nobody check that bush? Gate was so patient sitting in that brush. They gave up the turret, but it gave him the positioning he needed onto Teaser and the element of surprise.
Yeah, and more important, Heaventime landed the ulti, forced the QSS out early from Teaser. Made him QSS the actual stun there.
This is just a beautiful glacial prison. It's like, all right, Q, flash, throw the ulti. QSS Teaser's already hit the QSS when he doesn't really have vision of Zed. Speaking of vision of Zed, he's gone.
Poof. Rek'Sai disappeared before your very eyes. Gate also a magician.
His body disappeared too. Where'd Sojin go?
Down into the void. What is Rek'Sai's death animation?
Kind of curls up.
I can't kill them because they're so overpowered.
Kind of curls up like an insect.
Ah, okay.
Like something that just killed an insect is like curls inside itself. It's like if an insect had a fetal position.
Okay. Aren't they spawned from eggs? Insects?
Eggs, yes.
Okay.
That's why I said if they had a fetal position.
Right, I know. I'm backing you up here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Once in a
Sorry,
while.
you don't do that very often.
I know.
So I was like, oh my god.
You're very rarely correct about things.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for that.
The backhanded compliments are real here, guys. Final 5. Dragon number 3, 41.5 minutes in. Scoreline basically equal. Rek'Sai screaming as she comes in to join the team. Big ol' Ron wants to start this fight. No stun lands. Ron forced a flashback out, takes a whole big burst. Heaventime, though, incredibly low. Arc Second zones the team out, flashes away. The poison is maybe going to take down Heaventime, and in fact, it does. The 2 for 0 so far. And in comes Teaser, tries to knock down Veritas. He's lifesteal tanking pretty successfully. But 2 members already dead.
Rux is TPing to the base.
Oh my god, Rux wants to end it, but in comes Big ol' Ron to defend.
He's half HP.
I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's trying, certainly. And the rest of Final 5 recalling to defend their own base. It's essentially a base race. Rux has super minions. Big ol' Ron does not deal much damage, but nor does he take very much as well. Looks like Rux is chasing Big ol' Ron out of the base. The super minions knocked away, so the mid inhibitor goes down, and there's no tank left to knock down the Nexus turrets. Rux TP gets one turret, but no more, and mid inhib goes down.
He holds off. Big ol' Ron gonna try to re-engage this. Woo!
Oh, the juke by Rux. That was slick.
The slow and the speed away.
Don't get too close. It's going to slow you.
Oh, don't worry. He's got his galactic hyper barrier. He's good.
It already timed out, though. Minions. Minions.
Oh, another turret for Rux?
Oh, that's a bit greedy.
Just a little bit of a
enough to get the turret down. Gate running away quickly. Indivisible not getting jumped on. Veritas, though, overextended.
Oh!
Spell shields for long enough to get away from expunge range. And lifesteal's off a minion, but back in goes Gate, picks up Rod. Wow, Rux flashes out. He nearly killed Sojin. What is this game? Tideway's going to miss.
What is happening?
And oh no, Teaser drops down. He got re-engaged on. Individual's going to drop. Final 5. Are you serious? They're about to close this game out.
They just picked up so many stragglers.
No, run down. You don't get that turret.
TSD, they were all over the place. 45 seconds on Teaser at this point, and they're just going to ride this wave into the turret. It was already weakened.
2 versus 4. Rux on the other side. Double super minions right here on the bottom side. Is there going to be a miracle by Arc Second? He doesn't have a lot of time to work with, though. The minion waves are still here. Heaven Time, though, maybe a bit aggressive. Arc Second pops the Zonias after going on in, but there's no one to get stunned. Gate putting a big chunk of damage down. They trade back into Heaven Time, though, but there's a second Nexus turret. That's going to be the game. Final 5, 2-0 in a ridiculous match.
And in completely ridiculous fashion in the last 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was absolutely crazy. That is a heart-breaking loss for TSM Darkness. They were crushing the bottom lane. They crushed the mid game, and they couldn't team fight.
Veritas ends the game 100 CS up over Teaser. Teaser just stopped CSing once they started grouping up, and he started going for assassination kills, and then when they stopped working out and he started being the focus every time, because it's just like, Teaser's the damage, get the damage dealer, 100% focus on him.
Yeah.
There was no way they were going to win those fights. They did win one, though, off the back of some pretty poor play from Final 5.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, time to switch on crazy mode. And they just threw so much and tested TSD's shot calling to the limit there, and they weren't able to hold up in those critical seconds.
Man, that was absolutely incredible. We talk about Veritas a little bit more. So he got destroyed in lane.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Destroyed. Final score, 8-2 and 6. That's the line of just like, oh, yeah, you had a really good game. Good job, Saver. Fool got destroyed in lane, and he lane swapped with Vamp Scepter Average Blade mid lane so we could find farm somewhere.
Yeah.
Threw Gate to the garbage lane. By the way, Gate beat Teaser in one-on-ones. And everything worked for Final 5. I have nothing but nice things to say about how they capitalized and regained composure that game. But it just makes it even more disheartening for TSM Darkness, who, by all rights, they had that game.
Yeah, they definitely had that at the start. And in the mid game, too, Twitch hit those power spikes, trying to blow people up. Teaser got caught off of his over-aggression multiple times. Oh, man, that is heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. TSM Darkness, they fall to 1-5 in the North American Challenger Series. It does bring their opponents, though, up to 4-2 here, so they're only one game behind Enemy Esports. So far, it looks pretty darn good for Final 5. Yeah. Their new support, they've gone 2-0 with them. Only generally good things to say about that team for now, but right now, our team is pinging us to take a break. When we return, we're going to have our final fight of the night. It's going to be Team Fusion, going to battle against TDK in 3.5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. He's going to ult right in, and he finds Sejuani under the turret. He gets a slow on to Veritas. The flash from Sivir, but it's not going to be enough to survive. 3-man ulti. In comes the Rumble, and everyone on TSD incredibly low, but they fire back right away. Heaven Time dies. Oh, he goes for the flash gun, gets it on a teaser. He popped QSS. This is dead, doing a whole bunch of damage, and a shutdown goes into Rek'Sai. Incredibly low. Arc Second zones the team out, flashes away. The poison is maybe going to take down Heaven Time, and in fact, it does. The 2 for 0 so far.